بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dearest brothers and sisters and beloved children, Jazakallahu khair for joining us again on our Ramadan special. Today we'll be going over chapter number 13 inshallah, and we'll be continuing on from yesterday on Surah Yusuf, and we'll be covering 4 surahs today. We'll be completing Surah Yusuf inshallah. We'll be going over Surah Al-Rad, Surah Al-Ibrahim inshallah, and inshallah Surah Al-Hijr, just the first verse inshallah. In this chapter, in juz number 13, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has instructed us that do not follow the nafs. Do not consider the nafs to be innocent. The desire, intent of the nafs is to provoke towards evil. Seek refuge in Allah to be safe from the nafs temptation. If you make a mistake, ask forgiveness from the Rabb. Even if you get all the wealth in the kingdoms of this world, do not forget that the greatest wealth of this world is nothing compared to the hereafter. And that it is for those who believe in Allah and try to avoid the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The glory, beauty of the believer is that he fulfills all the requirements with maximum precaution. But his faith is always in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He believes that it will happen whatever pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The beauty of a believer's life is enduring and strong. It does not fluctuate with circumstances or time. Yusuf ﷺ never came down from the heights of benevolence, even before he went to jail, even inside of jail, and even after sitting on the throne. The patience of Prophet Yusuf ﷺ's father was also unparalleled. The grief and pain was so intense that the light of his eyes went off due to excessive weeping and crying. But the words of patience on his tongue and the expressions, expectations of good hope from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are all the time. He would only cry out to Allah for his grief and sorrow, and even in the onslaught of too many other following sorrows, he would consider despairing or being unhopeful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy as disbelief. This is the glory and the character of a true believer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives sins no matter how serious they may be. And the servants of Allah who love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also have the same attribute, the quality to forgive the greatest abuse, sins and mistakes of other human beings. Yusuf ﷺ called on the betterment of his condition as a bounty of Allah, and the enmity of his brothers as the evil of shaitan. The believer's sights are thus realistic and far-sighted, and is for he who is the real benefactor and who is the real enemy. Even when ascending on the throne of Egypt, the divinity of the Prophet Yusuf ﷺ can be seen. Yusuf ﷺ openly admitted that whatever power and knowledge he had was given to him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the real king of the heavens and the earth. Allah is my guardian and protector in this world and in the hereafter. Yusuf ﷺ prayed that he remained obedient to Allah till he dies. And may the companionship of the righteous be blessed in the hereafter. Because the nearness of Allah will be to the righteous, not to the worldly kings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also tells us, be wise and learn from the Quranic incidences and stories. These are the true events and reports. Remember, this Quran is a source of guidance and mercy for the believers. Use common sense and meditate on the sights in the heavens, in the skies, and the earth. These signs will testify that one day everyone will have to appear before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So not be deceived or be happy if Allah does not immediately catch the disobedient. Those who are following the path of rebellion and disobedience and are not caught yet should not think that there is no one to see them and no one to catch them. Allah is watching over everything, whether the acts are done in light of day or in the darkness of night. If you want to avoid bad consequences, then fix and correct your situation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punishes the people who go astray. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives punishment, then there is no protector. Do not argue about Allah. Feel the greatness, power, and the glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by observing the light that is shining, the clouds that are thundering, the heavy clouds that are rising, and the sky that is thundering. You should get an idea of the greatness and glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't be blind. Take advantage of the lights of your eyes. Use your brain. Do not stay in the dark. Come out towards the light. Do not worship besides Allah of the heavens and the earth. Other gods themselves are helpless in their own affairs. Do not be frightened when you see falsehood seemingly disappear. The example of falsehood is like foam. When falsehood stands in front of truth, falsehood flies away like the foam. So respond to the call of Allah. This is your goodness. Those who disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not be able to escape the punishment of Allah, even if they gave all the wealth in the world. So use your common sense and accept advice. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you sight and wisdom, so take advantage of them. Try to understand that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed is the truth. Fulfill your covenant with Allah. Under no circumstances should you think or have a thought in your heart of breaking the promise with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Join what Allah has commanded to be joined. Fear Allah. Avoid the evil of reckoning. Seek the pleasure of Allah. Be patient in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Establish salah and spend openly and secretly from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. Rectify bad deeds by good deeds. Be patient. You think, make a plan and implement to improve and correct yourself, your parents, your wives, your children, so that you will all be good and virtuous, so that you may all have the opportunity to meet and live together in Jannah. Believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seek peace of heart in the remembrance of Allah. And you can find the wealth of peace of heart only in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Protect your faith and do good deeds and present the book of Allah before the people. Do not pay attention to deniers. Say, I have decided only to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will be calling the mankind towards Allah only because I have to return to Allah to give my accountability. The light of knowledge has come to me, and now I will not enslave anyone else's desire. I will not listen and obey to anyone else except for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings are upon you are so great that you cannot count them. Fulfill the requirements of Allah's blessings. Your Rabb has informed you that if you give thanks to Allah, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you more. And if you are ungrateful, then Allah's punishment will be very severe. Remember, even if the whole world is ungrateful, then nothing will be affected in the status and power of Allah. But those who are ungrateful will be in great loss and will taste severe punishment. True believers are not afraid of the hardships in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They trust in Allah and they're patient in every hardship. They are happy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has shown them the way. I'm going to digress. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those. Ameen. Back to it, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed to us, instructed us. He's told us that no matter how weak you are in this world and no matter how strong the disbelievers are in the knowledge of falsehood, do not be intimidated by them. On the day of resurrection, the disbelievers will be in hell and the disbelievers will be of no use to you. Do not follow in the footsteps of shaitan. On the day of judgment, you will realize that shaitan has made a mockery of you by following him, and you will not be laughing on that day. Understand the importance of kalma tayyibah. It's an example like of the good tree whose roots are deeply rooted in the earth and its branches are touching the sky. If you adopt kalma tayyibah, you will get satisfaction in this life and success in the hereafter. The examples that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives are very valuable for your life. Learn from them. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam used to worry that his salahs should be as good as possible or as beautiful as possible, and that his children should also become accustomed to good, beautiful salah. This is why Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam settled his children in the barren area and desolate field near the house of Allah, the Kaaba. And for that, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam humbly prayed to his Rabb. Think and follow Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam's approach and plan. Subhanallah. With that, we have covered this chapter, juz number 13. Thank you very much for joining us again on this Ramadan series. Wa akhir da'wana walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. We look forward to seeing you again with us tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.